In a peaceful meadow surrounded by tall trees and blooming flowers, lived a gentle giant named Big Buck Bunny. He was the biggest rabbit in the forest, with soft, fluffy fur and ears that could hear the slightest rustle of leaves. Despite his size, Buck Bunny was known for his kind heart and love of nature. Every day, he enjoyed the simple pleasures of the meadow, grazing on sweet clover, watching butterflies dance in the air, and listening to the song of the birds. One sunny afternoon, as Buck Bunny basked under the shade of a tree, a trio of mischievous creatures, Frank, Reinke, and Gimera, appeared. They were known troublemakers, a squirrel, a flying squirrel, and a chinchilla. They loved causing chaos in the meadow, and today, their target was Big Buck Bunny. At first, they tossed acorns at him from the trees, snickering as they watched them bounce off his back. Buck Bunny didn't mind, smiling and shaking his head. But the trio didn't stop. They pulled on his ears, tripped him with vines, and even stole his favorite flowers. Buck Bunny's patience was great, but even his kind heart had limits. When the trio destroyed a bird's nest, sending tiny eggs tumbling to the ground, something inside Buck Bunny snapped. His peaceful nature was replaced with a fierce determination. He couldn't let these bullies ruin the meadow any longer. With a mighty hop, Buck Bunny leaped into action. He quickly devised a plan. Using his size and strength, he set clever traps around the meadow. Frank, Reinke, and Gimera were too busy laughing to notice. They walked right into his tricks. One by one, they found themselves caught in harmless, yet humiliating, traps. Reinke was tangled in vines, Frank was stuck in a hollow log, and Gimera landed in a pile of soft leaves. Buck Bunny stood over them, his shadow casting a long figure. But instead of anger, his face was calm. "The meadow is a place for everyone," he said in his deep, gentle voice. "There's no need for trouble here." The trio, embarrassed and exhausted from their antics, realized they had gone too far. Humbled, they promised Buck Bunny they would stop causing harm and try to enjoy the meadow peacefully. With the troublemakers subdued, Big Buck Bunny returned to his favorite spot under the tree. The meadow was quiet again, and the birds returned to their songs. From that day on, Frank, Rinky, and Gimera learned to play nicely, and the meadow remained a place of peace, where all creatures, big and small, could live in harmony. And as for Big Buck Bunny, he continued to enjoy his days in the meadow, as the gentle giant who stood up for what was right, protecting his home with both kindness and strength.